Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Real Life Caddy Podcast. I'm back with Michael Zabbo. It's been a while, Mike.
It's been a long time. It is good to be back. Finally, it feels like it's been 2 years.
I forgot what you looked like.
Yeah, here I am in the flesh.
How was Disneyland?
It was good. It was our last trip. You know, we had the final shebang. The annual passes expired, so there was tears of sadness for some, tears of joys for the other.
Excellent. Now, what have we got in the podcast? I'm quite excited. Some good stories, I believe.
It's been a long time. We've compiled some stories. Stuff has been happening. You know, there's a lot of veterans working a lot lately, and a lot of rookies, a lot of new caddies out there. So there's always some gems with the new guys. I mean, those new guys are there's something out there. Green around the grill.
Any highlights for people to look forward to?
Oh yeah, I got this father-son combo you wouldn't believe, and also the broken driver.
Yes.
A broken driver story that is not all it appears to be.
Exactly. So anyway, we'll crack on right now. We just got off the grass.
We did. We worked together, and not only did we work together, we carried golf bags, which is not something we're doing super frequently. I mean,
we just had a good laugh in 18, didn't we?
Taxing about what, me yelling at my player who wasn't listening to me at all.
Corporate golf. Just awful golfer.
Bob, I have your hybrid here. My other guy's 80 yards the other way. Bob. He's got to hear me. He's walking away from me. I'm literally 20 feet from him, and he's not turning around for anything. Bob was waiting for me to get to him.
You a weird duck, huh?
Weird comments at weird times. Very, very, very bizarre.
What was your favorite comment of the day from him?
You know, he's played out here so many years. He's on the 12th hole, and he looks at my other guy and goes, "Hey, you see that deer over here?" He goes, "I've never seen a deer on this hole."
Oh, wow.
What's up, Bob? You just trying to fill the empty space? I mean, you've never seen a deer. We are in the woods, Bob. Deer kind of wander from place to place. They don't stay stationary. I mean, yes, a deer was bound to be on this hole at some point in all the years you've been playing here.
Now, we have to address something called the LW. There was a question from Dougie B from Monterey about he'd heard rumors that there's a new device in town for us to do our job.
There is a new device. It's kind of like an ATV / golf cart. It's like a little
quad bike.
It's like a quad. It's like a little motorcycle, electric motorcycle that was put out there for the caddies to use. And me being the traditionalist I was like, hell no chance in hell. Screw these push carts. I'm a caddy. I carry the golf bag. And you know what? They were really pushing these things. So I was like, I'll get certified, get trained. And I used one, and it's, I think, now my best friend. I texted a picture of it to the wife. I said, we're going to crop this in the Christmas card this year. It was, using it was glorious. I mean, I was firmly against it until I used it. And I was like, wow, I could see myself. You know, if they're going to allow us to use this, it's an amazing tool for caddying.
I can respect someone that has a strong belief and then can admit they were wrong. So
I do admit I was wrong.
You have very much how the worm has turned.
I totally admit after doing it, I was firmly against it. And after using it once, I was like, okay. I see the benefit. I mean,
what's the benefit to whom?
So that's a great question. To whom? I mean, both you and I have been caddying 20 plus years. You probably 30, because since you were like 5. But I've been carrying golf bags for over 20 years. The big benefit is you don't have to carry the golf bag. You can move from player to player a lot quicker, and you're not putting the miles and the wear and tear on your shoulders, hips, knees, back, all that. It's going to give life to, I mean, I am very capable of carrying golf bags, as are you. We did it today. Complained a little bit, as we do, about carrying heavy bags, but we're both capable of doing it. Now, using this new tool, I think I'm going to be capable of caddying a lot longer, the more I'm able to use that. And a lot of these guys who are 60, 70 years old,
One foot in the grave.
It's going to extend their careers. Maybe some of them in a bad way. You don't want their careers extended, but a lot of them, you know, they're good caddies, and it's going to extend the way they're able to caddy for years to come.
Okay.
I'm a fan.
I only heard a positive for the caddy then.
Have you used it yet?
No, I did my training. It took 45 seconds.
Yeah,
I looked over my shoulder. The trainer was looking on his phone.
Yeah. You're certified. You're good.
You're good to go.
Yeah, It's pretty easy to operate, but there's benefits to the players too. You can put heavy bags, whatever you want in the golf bag. We're not going to complain. They're on that cart, and you can get to and from the player a lot quicker. If you want to go slow and chat the players like you're walking alongside them, you just kind of cruise along them really slowly, and you can chat them up if you want.
Tip killer?
I don't believe so. That's the question. That's a lot. I know that's one of your concerns. That's a lot of caddies' concerns. I've used it 5 times, 6 times. I haven't seen it in a bad way. Yeah.
There'll be very limited times I would use it.
Yeah.
Listen, again, I don't judge. I understand why everyone does everything. If it works for them, it works for them. I feel, though, that you talk about tradition. We've gone so far now. But technology's done that with everything, hasn't it?
It's true. It's true. Things are changing rapidly everywhere.
Kind of like a circus. It's just the last 4 or 5 years, it just seems so much has changed. And I just, for me, if certain people do their job and we have a golf bag should be no more than 16, 17 pounds.
If that was the case, I'd have no issue every day. 2 bags.
But even today, guys that I've known for a long time, he's walking to the first tee and he's got another 3 sleeves of brand new golf balls.
Tuck them in the bag.
One look at me and he went over to his shoe bag. He said, "Oh, don't worry, these aren't going into the golf bag." I went, "You better believe it." And then the other guys get 30, 40 golf balls.
Yeah, that was the truth.
So we
and
had
you looked
at
me smiling every time he would slice one OB. He goes, "There's another 1/10 of a pound gone."
There's another 1/10 of a pound, yes.
And then he'd encourage him to hit another. He's like, "Hey, no. He's like, "I'll drop up there. No, hit another one here because there's a good chance you're going to lose that one too. It'll be lighter."
There's poison oak over there. I would not even attempt it. Don't worry about it. Okay. But in all fairness, we didn't lose that many. It was, and where we worked, you even if you go looking for one, you come out with 3.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the issue.
Soul destroying, absolutely soul destroying. But we were carrying golf bags in this event that the event always wants walking caddies, and it's kind of soul destroying because this is the course where we can drive to the ball. And
well, funny you say that because I have one of the heads of the company that the first day it's like they don't have the customers in town, so they play just themselves. And, I mentioned to him, they got this new device here. It's called the LE. It's pretty good. I'm a fan of it. And he's like, yeah, throw it on there. I don't care. And then we're using it. He's like, I like it. And I'm like, I don't know if the number one guy at the company is going to like it. I have a feeling. He's like, I'll talk to him, see what it's about. Next day he said, nope. No LEs for this group. That will not happen.
No, but it is somewhat soul destroying. Like anyone, just think about anyone in their job. If somebody came along and offered you an easier way to do it, would you do it?
Exactly.
Of course you would.
It's the whole Live PGA thing all over again. If they're offering you more money to do less work, are you going to do it? Yes. If your job's easier, sign me up.
Sign me up. Okay, well, what you got?
Well, I have a lot, so we're going to limit our stories. I got a good one about you that you probably you don't remember this. There's veteran moves in more than way than one. Obviously financially, and this one was financial. Our old boy Richie from the pro shop was like, you should have seen this move she had the other day. It was glorious.
Okay.
They get done. The guy's getting his shoes clean or whatever. He comes out, and then he opens his wallet, and he starts shuffling through money to give G money. And G gets behind him there and starts massaging the shoulders. And 1, 2, 3, and he just keeps peeling off. She's working the shoulders. And Richie was like, I couldn't believe it. Gave him a bundle of money. I said, Richie, that is a veteran move right there. That's a good move, G.
I honestly don't remember that.
See, he doesn't remember it because of his second nature. That's a veteran move.
Nature.
You get back. So I had one that it was sometimes it's financial. Other times it's just picking the right players. You have seniority over another caddy. I was at the Wii course, and there's a foursome, 2 doubles, and I'm working with another veteran caddy, but I'm ahead of him. So I get up there a little early, scope out the situation. I see husband and wife, son, and then kind of the crazy uncle over here. So I start chatting him up. Where are you guys from? What are you here for? Graduation present. Yeah, me and my uncle are riding together. He shot 147 yesterday at the Wee course. Counted every single stroke. He's like, he really wants to play everything out, count every stroke. I'm like, oh, good. Then I go over to husband and wife. How you guys doing? You guys enjoying your stay here in the Monterey Peninsula? Yeah, I love it. And then she goes, just so you know, Mike, I'm going to play, maybe 6, 7 holes. I'll tee off. Sometimes I'll putt. And so the other caddy walks up. I'm like, yeah, you're going to take that uncle and son up there. I'll be on this cart there. And it was just like you can imagine. It was glorious. I was watching him struggle all day, running back and forth. Guy wants different clubs. He's hitting it 20 yards at a time. It was
beautiful.
Impressive.
And the thing about that is, Zabbo, you walked the tee, graduation present, so you know that the dad is paying for everyone. He's paying for Uncle Fester as well.
Oh, 100%. So, like, you wouldn't believe. Uncle Fester was a beauty, too.
Exactly.
You talk about beauties. This guy was a beauty. So, anyways.
Wait, hold on. Who uncle, right? Whose uncle goes in their graduation present with them?
Well, there's a little story behind that, but we'll let that lie. He was out there. He was enjoying it. He's doing well. He's doing better than he used to be doing, and he's doing good. So, anyways, we get up to the, 8, or we're the middle of 8, and Mom's like, ooh, I could go for a nice hot dog at the turn. And Dad's like, yeah, I could go for a hot dog too. And talk to like, hey, you want some food? Oh, I'll take like a chicken breast sandwich. And I'm like, give me a hot dog. So we get 5 hot dogs and a chicken breast sandwich. So we go in to get our food at the turn. And, as they do on the resort, they have interns during the summer. A lot of times and they're mostly college kids, and they have, men and women. They have some attractive young women. And then, so this one girl intern, she's sitting there having our lunch. We're putting I'm putting condiments on my hot dog.
Easy now.
Condiments on my hot dog. There's no puns here. This is a story. Listen up.
Keep it clean.
So anyways, he's got his chicken breast sandwich over there getting his napkins. And so he starts chatting her up saying, hey, how you doing today? And she's like, oh, I'm doing good. Got a match this afternoon. We have an intern match. And I'm like, oh, you're pretty low index. She goes, well, I'm about an 11. I'm like, oh, is it all gross or all net? She goes, oh, it's all gross. We just play even up. I said, oh, nice. Good for you. And then I said, he's about an 11. You guys would have a good match. And he's kind of smiling and chatting her up a little. And nothing comes of it. We walk out of the pro shop, and then he looks at me. He goes, I got the hots for her. I go, yeah, I couldn't tell, man. I was like, I kind of gave you an open there. He goes, no, man. He's like, I'm just trying to I talk to her all the time. I'm trying to let her get to know me. So I want her to really get to know me first before I creep her out.
Oh, jeez.
I go, bro, you just literally defined the definition of grooming. You're trying to groom her. I'm like, groomer. Lay off, dude. You're like 25 years older than her. Lay off. But it was pretty funny.
Wow, 19 years old and dearie me.
Well, maybe not 20. Certainly 18 to 20 years older than her, but it was pretty funny.
That gets me thinking about who it was. And you realise you mentioned the word breast, hot dog, and condiment in the same sentence.
That's pretty funny.
Now,
that's pretty funny.
I'll tell you one thing, Zabbo.
Okay.
How many excuses have you heard about being late? I'm always touching cloth.
Yeah, usually you don't make excuses. You just show up.
Just show up. Listen, guys, don't want to waste my time.
Are we talking about player excuses or caddy excuses?
Caddy excuses?
Oh, I've heard lots of excuses. Lots of them.
Well,
I could have a whole episode on excuses.
Well, that's actually not a bad idea. Yep. Put it in the notebook, Bear. I heard the best ever.
The best ever.
Best ever. This
Why was he late?
This guy calls me. He says, would you like to work with me tomorrow? And I said, what time? It's the perfect time for me. He said, listen, I may be 1 or 2 holes late.
1 or 2 holes late.
Now, when a caddy tells you there might be 1 or 2 holes, what does that mean?
He'll see him on 6.
Correct. Bingo. Exactly what I saw. Right? So I'm for sure going to, okay. So the idea was that I would then take care of his players.
Yeah, of course.
Plus my own players.
Of course.
I'm thinking 5, maybe 6 holes.
And the players had no issue with this?
He told them.
Okay.
They wanted him. The reason he was going to be late was because he was getting his cat spayed.
His cat spayed? Like cat spayed. Bro, you couldn't, yeah. His cat spayed on a Saturday?
He's like, it's really hard to get these appointments. I was like, what?
Wow.
So that's
cat spade.
Turned up in the sixth
cat
fairway.
Needed a little extra time, a little comfort after the procedure.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, okay.
Did you ask him how it went?
I did. Of course I did. I was like, how's the cat? He said, okay. I left him at home. You know what I mean?
Her, but yeah.
Her, yeah. Left her at home. Like, hey, listen, California, maybe him.
That's true.
But absolutely belter. I can't come across a better story.
My cat got spayed. I'm late for my leave.
And then there was another one actually I need to tell you about, right? The Broken Club.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't remember who I'm caddying for, but I think it was a father-son.
Did he preface it with like, I got a story you're really going to like?
I'm going to tell you one that you're going to love. So we have a total beginner in the group called William. He's playing with his mate. Wee course, boys are hacking about. I'd given this lad William a tip on how to play less badly.
Mm-hmm.
He then asked me in the 17th tee. He has a driver in his hand, and he said, "Do you have any tips, Big G, for teeing off?" And I said, "Well, I'd put the driver away." Right? And I said, if you're at your level, you should hit a 7-iron. And if you hit a good one on the next tee, hit a 6-iron. And every time you hit a good one, you graduate.
Yeah.
And every time you hit a bad one, you lose a year. Yeah, you're demoted. He went, "That's a great idea. Love that. Thank you." So I go back to my bags. I go back to the tee. He's teeing up. And the guy I'm canning for said, "Look." And I looked. He says, "Just ignored everything you said. He's hitting the driver." I went, "Well, I'm used to that." Right? Nobody ever takes advice. He swings. He hits. The head flies off. Okay?
Okay. Was this his driver or a rental set?
Now, this is where the plot thickens.
Okay.
It's a rental set. Now, you know where we work.
Oh,
Just to take them out for a spin probably costs you
$150,
$150 to $200.
Yeah.
So he's already paid for his round of golf. Mm-hmm. He's paid for his rental set. And he's now walking up to pick up the club head, laughing, going, "This is such a great story."
I'll tell you a story, buddy. $550. $700.
Yeah, one of those new tailor-made drivers.
Ooh. Oh, the QIs. Yes. Yeah, that's not cheap.
So what he didn't realize is when you take those rental sets out, you are responsible for them.
You sign a waiver.
And any damage. So he was coming in to a great story that cost him an extra $700 plus tax.
Did it hurt the gratuity at the end?
I wasn't working for him.
Oh, perfect. Even better.
But there you go.
Wow. That's $700.
Always read the small print, folks.
Yeah, you're responsible.
What else you got?
Well, I got to tell one that my wife is going to absolutely love. So it is kind of that time of year you get lots of father-sons, lots of, heartfelt trips, graduations. Trips. And this actually wasn't one of those, but it was a father-son trip. And there was 2 sets of father-son, and it was the other father-son. This guy, I mean, we get whiny people out here all the time, nonstop. And he's complaining about he's 35 years old, complaining about everything, the way the wind's blowing, the way the ocean's waves are breaking, the putts are missing, he's pulling them, he's pushing them, the caddy's misreading them, things are going bad, and we get to the 12th hole at the Wii course, and he hits it to 5 feet. I'm like, "Great shot, Austin." I was like, "That was fantastic."
Austin.
He goes, "Yeah." Oh, it gets better. He goes, "That was my 8-iron. Normally I can hit my 9-iron there." I'm like, "All right, bro, we've had enough of your complaining." I'm like, you hit it to 5 feet. You hit the right club. Who cares what club it is? You hit the right club. And he's like, whatever. So, we're walking up the next hole on 13, and these women come out of the house. And I was like, I've never seen anybody in this house ever in my whole life. Like, "Hey, how are you guys? You guys want some beers?" And I'm like, okay. I mean, this is kind of weird. I mean, he's not like a bad looking dude, but he's no whoever, Fabio or whatever. And so she calls him over, and they're chatting him up. I'm like, what is going on with this? And then his dad, he's kind of a big deal back home. He's on a reality show on Bravo. No. He's pretty well known, and we've been getting recognized everywhere he goes. There was a girl waiting for 2 hours the day before on 4 at the big course, waiting for him to come around because he posts on Instagram where he is. And he's got, 1 million followers or 800,000 followers or whatever. So I was like, you know what? My wife watches all this garbage. I'm saying
all this garbage.
She's bound to know who this is. I'm like, hey, and he's on this show called Southern Comfort or Southern
Garbage.
Southern something. And I was like, "Do you watch this show?" She's like, "Well, not really, but I know the characters." I was like, "Do you know Austin?" She's like, "No way. Austin's in your group?" I'm like, "No way." So I was like, "Austin, get over here." And I got a picture with him.
Sad.
I was like, the first picture I've ever, I don't take pictures with celebrities ever, but I thought my wife would get it. She thought it was hilarious. I mean, she was like, "This is amazing." Women, they flock to guys like this. And he's like the bad boy on the show. I was like, well, just so you know, he's the biggest crybaby I ever met.
He's a bell end.
Yeah, he really was. And,
imagine that. Yeah. I came across this past week, just this realization again that no golfer's ever happy.
Yeah, they're nowhere near as good as they think they are either.
Even when they hit a decent shot, like you just said,
they got to complain about something. I thinned it. I hit it heavy.
Well, again, I watched a lot of golf in the pro game in the last couple of months, which has been great. We can talk a wee bit about that and the mailbag stuff. But in a golf tournament, there's really only two people happy at the end, and that's the one that wins it in the caddy.
Exactly.
Everyone else is disappointed.
True.
The ones that missed the cut hate life. The ones that make the cut play shite, and the guys that finish runner-up, and no one's happy.
Well, some of those caddies are pretty happy when they finish runner-up. Yeah.
I saw the worst golfer I think I've ever seen in my life in this past month or two.
Worse than old uncle who shot 147?
No, way worse than that. This lad. Now, I have to explain that what we had today, your guy Bob, is not a golfer. He plays once a year, twice a year.
Clearly, he's not a golfer. Yes, clearly. There's no question about that.
Apart from at 16.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I don't qualify him as a golfer because he plays twice a year.
Yeah.
I don't qualify a beginner as a golfer either because they've just started playing.
Correct.
Somebody who says they're a golfer, I played at TPC Sawgrass last month and I have a club or I play regularly. This guy was that.
This bad player was that?
This bad player.
Wow.
He plays on a regular basis, and I don't know how why he does this to himself, because I've never seen consistent divots so deep, like real kind of sods, not divots, sod.
And he's not like striping it and taking divots; he's chunking it.
I made him change clubs once on the 11th, and he hit it so hard. He was going to hit a 9, and I gave him an 8 because I'm thinking he probably needs a 6 the way he's hitting it.
Yeah.
So he hits this like 210 yards flat. He hits it 60 yards over the green, and he's complaining to me. And I'm like, listen, if you'd hit a 9, you'd have still been 170 over the green. Yeah. Really painful. But he had this motion where he would hit down the ball, chop, and he'd hit it in the ground. You know when you hit the ball in the ground with that top spin, it bounces up. It got so bad, he did it, and he hit himself in the face with the ball in 16.
What?
He hit it so hard with the 3-wood that it bounced, hit it in the ground. He hit him in the chin, and I was done. I didn't even find it funny.
Wow, wasn't even comical at that point.
One of our good friends, as you know, who takes a lot of video out there, has the video. I will show you. We can't post it, but he was the worst I've ever seen.
You can't post it. Why not?
No, well, you know, I mean,
so bad.
People, they might come after you. Who knows? It's not fair.
You got the shot where he hit himself in the chin, or
one's very close to it.
So he did that numerous times.
Yeah. Oh, it was absolutely appalling.
Does he get
Painful.
mad? Does he get upset?
Not really. He didn't really get upset, but he did try. And I went to his mates and said, "Is this like an anomaly? Is he always?" And he was like, "No, this is always this bad. He's awful." It's like on the WhatsApp group, he's been texting everyone saying how he's been striping it.
That is painful.
Yeah, it was painful. It was absolutely. But to hit yourself in the face with a ball is impressive. It's impossible, isn't it?
That's impressive.
So there you go, Zab. What we'll do is we will move on to some mailbag questions, and I want to discuss with you the professional game, because it's been a wee while since we actually sat down and maybe had a discussion about that.
Let's do it.
4! Okay, Zabo, a couple of mailbag questions before we go into fan mail.
Fan mail? We have fan mail?
We do. We get fan mail. There's a new feature that I discussed a few episodes ago. And
are the fans just over the moon about Wee Sean? I thought that episode, I was sorry not to be here with him. I love that episode. Wee Sean, love you.
There was mixed reviews on Sean.
I can imagine. Some
good, some bad, but you know, you got to try different things.
You know, the few people that have talked to me about it, I thought, is that like a bit? Is that like a fake bit you put out there? But he is actually just genuine. Like that. Yeah, that's him.
Absolutely genuine.
That's him. It's classic.
I think I do work with him. He's done a few more loops. I think next time he's on, which I will have him back on.
Good. I want to be there.
Bit more experience, a little bit of humble pie.
Yeah.
You know, so you know he's 18 years old. What do you know at 18?
True.
So, I got a question on the Instagram from an Alex Fabro, and he's from Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
I'm listening to old podcasts for a second time right now.
Old Real Life Caddy podcast?
Yeah.
Nice.
He says,
thanks, Alex.
You guys are my favourite podcast by far. Much love.
Awesome.
That's a good reminder. There are 135, I think. So,
a bunch.
If you're new, you can always go back and listen to it. Most of it is evergreen content.
Some good stuff. Some real good stuff.
But he asked us, he says, I propose that in the upcoming podcasts, you do a segment on the best caddy one-liners ever. Now, that we did mention doing another full episode on this.
What kind of one-liners? Like faster than Oprah on a water slide, slower than Stephen Hawking on a beat. A lot of them have been. A lot of them have just been overplayed and done. I mean, is that kind of one-liner?
I think that.
I think the funnier ones are like the off-the-cuff ones that we come out with, and they're funny. But maybe we should start writing those down, because I do a lot. Yeah, that's true. I do a lot of those myself, but I just. They come out. They're not like based on a celebrity or thing. They just come out.
When I describe putts, this is a crowd favorite, right, Alex? When I tell somebody this is left to right or up or down, and they say, really? Because it looks the opposite. I say, it's a Bruce Jenner.
Looks straight, but
no, it looks like one thing, but it's another. Right?
Gotcha.
You see the people like that.
Yeah,
but
funny.
Listen, the putt downhill, super fast. Fat girl in the water slide.
Yeah.
I think that's my favourite there.
That's a good one.
But I think we should probably add that in, because we did talk about having Matty D on and having Whose Line Is It Anyway, part 2.
There's a lot of good one-liners out there that are fitting.
Yes. Next question. That wasn't really, I guess that was a question in a way. Would you call that a question, Zabbo?
Kinda. Thanks for listening, Alex. We appreciate your support.
This one's from a Bryce Johnson.
Sounds made up, but go ahead.
No, seriously. you can check him out. I have a question for the podcast. So I'm a teaching pro, and I've been caddying for around 5 years. Currently at one of the TPC courses. Mm-hmm. Might be in one of your old neck of the woods.
Oh, really?
My loops often turn into my players wanting a playing lesson when they find out I'm a pro, since I'm already caddying for them. If I do that, I would expect more money in the end, but that is never the case. Have any advice? And have you guys run into any similar situations? Thank you and love the pod. Keep up the good work. So he's basically, like he says, he's a teaching pro, but he's doing a bit of caddying on the side, like we do see a lot of people giving proper lessons.
Yeah.
How would you address that, Zabbo?
First and foremost, I mean, more often than not, we see the reverse. We see the caddies giving the lesson when they're not a golf pro, but they don't even play the game. They're terrible at the game. They suck. And you see them giving these tips, like, what are you talking about? That's not how you swing a golf. You never do that.
Yeah.
Like, they give these terrible But first and foremost, don't tell them that you're a golf professional. Tell them, I wash dishes and I caddy on the side. Don't tell them that for a living I teach golf and I'm a golf professional. That's one sure way to say, oh, what do you see in my swing? Could you help me out? We see that all the time, even if we don't tell them our golf experience. Say, hey, if you notice something I'm doing or any pointers, give me advice. Mm-hmm. And it drives me nuts to see caddies do that. And some caddies take it overboard. And they spend the whole day trying to teach them the game.
Teaching lessons.
I'll give you a little pointer or two to help you out, but I'm not out there to teach you how to play the game.
Like we've said many times, a lot of what we do is it's trauma. It's not not elective surgery.
Yes.
So basically, we're just giving little bits and pieces of, okay, that's the wrong club for the wrong shot, or I don't know, trying to help them get out of a bunker.
Yeah.
And maybe try and stop them 5-putting and get them down to 3 putts. What would be my advice? I think you sometimes have to be super direct and say, well, you know what, this isn't really the place to do. Give them a couple of tips.
Yeah.
A couple of wee tips. But say, hey, listen, if you really want to go a little deeper here, here's my card. Yeah, and we can do a proper playing lesson and I'll charge you. Yeah. Don't be shy.
Exactly. Tell them where you're at. I think the issue, too, is Bryce is probably, it's frustrating when you get bad players and you can help them. So you give them a little bit and they really see the improvement, and then they want a lot. They want everything.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. From the start, we'll often get guys and say, oh, listen, I'm open to anything, so just keep it coming. It's not a playing lesson. I'm not Hank Haney.
It's not my job.
I'm the big G, and we're just going to go out there and have a bit of fun. And as I say, if we can get you down to 62 putts from 80, we've won a watch.
We've done well.
But the bottom line is, these guys ain't going to go to the range and start working on it. So I think you need to put the foot down. Yeah. Maybe like Zabbo says, don't give too much away. Yeah. Maybe only tell them in the 16th you're teaching pro.
Exactly. When the loop's almost over, I teach the game for a living.
And then say, here's my card. If you want to go to the range and we can really work on those last 2 tips I gave you on 17 and 18.
Exactly. We were building on something there.
Now, Zabbo.
Yes.
Since I maybe sat with you here, there's been 2 majors in golf, in tennis.
Tennis, there has been
Long
two,
day.
right? The French and Wimbledon. Was it French? Yeah.
French is in April.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Something happened. Now Wimbledon's going on.
Roland Garros. Wimbledon's right now. But the PGA Championship.
Correct.
Won by Xander Schauffele.
It was, yes.
And then the US Open at Pinehurst won by
Bryson DeChambeau.
Now, did you watch it?
I did, actually, yeah.
It's amazing when you have a little skin in the game how much more golf is.
And you have some action on Bryson?
Towards the top. I took him outright in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
in
going
the
to
PGA?
Yeah, and I was going to take him outright in the US Open, but decided to go top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
still
if I'd
paid.
flipped it, it still paid, but it was great to watch it. I will ask the next question, but after I give my little thing, what do you think about Bryson DeChambeau?
He's one of the best golfers in the world. If he's not, I still think Scotty's right now probably a little better, but if he's not one, which he probably isn't, he's definitely 2. He's definitely 2 right now, no doubt.
Did you listen to his press conferences throughout the last 3 months?
I did not.
The guy's absolutely off the charts. He's quickly gone from public enemy number 1 or 2 behind Patrick Reed to probably the most favoured golfer in the world now.
Yeah, he's definitely flipped that script on that aspect of his life, and I think that a lot of that was probably his team saying, "Look, you got to realize where your bread is buttered, and you got to play to the crowd. You got to show some emotion. You got to go out there and sign autographs. You gotta high five this guy. You got to do that with this guy, and he's done it, and he has won fans over. He's kind of back.
I'm not sure it was any individuals that have said to him. Maybe somebody said something a year ago, and then he got into his YouTube, and then he's probably looked at himself and gone, I know. He said it himself. He said it was stuff I said and did that it was regret. I now see my place in the game.
Yeah, which is smart. I mean, he's matured and he has seen what it takes to win the crowds over, and whether or not it's genuine or not, at least he's trying.
Oh, I think
it looks
genuine.
good.
I think it's genuine. You wouldn't hang around for 2 hours after you win on a Sunday.
I appreciate it. My opinion, I thought he was the biggest douche in the world before. And my opinion has definitely changed of Bryson. I don't mind seeing him win anymore. I really don't.
Well, I think the interaction he had with the fans on the 16th hole on the Saturday at Pinehurst, we've never seen anything like it.
You talking about when the kid got the ball stolen and he was
No, he wanted to hit a driver on a drivable par 4, and the crowd go, yay! And then he goes, but I know it's not the right play. The smart play is the iron, and they go, boo! And he goes across, and you didn't see this?
No.
And he goes across to his bag, and he says, listen, guys, don't boo me. And he pulls out the iron, and they go, boo! And he goes back, and he tees his ball up, and then he makes a motion back to the bag, as if he's going to go and grab his driver, and they all go, yay! It was just brilliant.
Yeah.
But during the round, and then he's signing autographs between shots, between holes, and I loved that. And he actually looked like the only golfer that was enjoying himself.
Yeah, well, I would too if I was playing like him.
But whether he did it, even when he was starting to get a little shaky in the Sunday, he still looked as if he was enjoying himself, hitting great shots. The next question was from a guy on Twitter, John 007. Not his real name, I'm guessing. He just says, McIlroy, thoughts?
Oh,
and I think he might have been the one that did this about, 3 months ago. Absolutely unbelievable, huh?
Oh, is that the guy that we caddied for who texted his manager and after the Balionis thing? Were you with me with that?
No.
No. You weren't with me. He knows his manager, and it was right after the Balionis thing came out, and he goes, same thing. He did the exact same thing he did. He texted him, and he goes, watch, he'll respond in like 2 minutes. He goes, McIlroy, thoughts? And he was like, no comment.
Yeah. Unbelievable. I think, again, the PGA Championship, the first person to congratulate Schauffele, apart from his caddy, I think, was DeChambeau. He hung around. The first question he was asked in his press conference was, how was your week? And he said, straight away, I'd like to congratulate Xander on his win.
Yeah.
Great guy. Played great. McIlroy,
See
in
you
the
later.
car park, in
See
his
you
car,
later.
gone.
I'm gone.
He could have been a legend. But who knows what's going on with him, because if he doesn't win the British Open, right?
He's not gonna.
Where does he go?
Where does he go? He's gonna do what he always does. He's gonna have a really long career, and he's gonna have a bunch of top 10s and top 5s and maybe top 2 or 3s and maybe win 1 or 2 more majors, and that's gonna be about his career. I don't think you're ever gonna see Rory McIlroy go on a tear again and win 4, 5, 6, 7 majors. It's just not going to happen.
Should maybe have stuck to golf.
Yeah, exactly. And, it's funny the way Bryson kind of came back. Rory has gone away, and he's seeming to go further away from public opinion. Not many people that I know think very highly of Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, the whole marriage thing is crazy as well.
Yeah, they're back together. I guess that prenup wasn't good enough for him. Well, I've got to look at these numbers. Okay, maybe we should stay together.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Well, there was a lad I met. I went back to Scotland and I met him on the plane. He was wearing a golf hat. We got chatting. His name's Andrew Innes. He's from Paisley. He's a Paisley pirate.
Nice.
And we got chatting about golf and caddying and stuff. And
of course, he's a Rory fan, I'm sure.
No, he's not. He's actually a Bryson fan now because he said to me, he says, who's going to win this? And I went, get your money in Bryson. And he did. Wow. I think he won about £1,200 on him.
Nice.
Because he sent me the picture of the
ticket. Yeah, nice.
So he's a massive Bryson fan. And he's also a big fan of the podcast.
Love that money.
So a few episodes I mentioned that there's a new feature on Apple, on Spotify, because at the time we didn't know if it worked in Spotify. But now all of Spotify users can actually send us a text message. Yeah. It's called fan mail.
Remind listeners how they can do that. They have to.
So it's on the notes on, if you're listening to Apple Podcast, if you're listening to Spotify, I would imagine any platform, whatever you listen to on Podbean, Anchor, you would look at the notes for an individual episode, and at the very top there'll be a link that says send the boys a text or something. I like to call it fan mail. Right. Yes. Maybe it's not fan mail. That's overindulging.
Well, depends what the subject is.
First one came in. Caddy wives matter too. Question for Big G. How do you feel when your wife makes more money than you?
Ooh, somebody that knows intimate details of your life.
Wouldn't know. Never happens.
Ooh.
Next one.
Moving along.
It says Zabbo is the best.
Yes. Was that my wife?
There you go. There's one from the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and it says, keep up the good work, gay boys.
Nice.
So
happy to help.
Somebody in San Francisco. This is fun. I love this.
How many do we have here?
There's quite
a bunch. Nice. Let's hear them.
I picked out a bunch.
I like these.
Somebody from San Francisco. Great show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next one, Ann Arbor. That's in Michigan.
It sure is. Really
enjoy the pod. I've hit every one. It's great to have a light view in the game we love. Also love it when you have guests. ... Pros. Nice. Okay, September we'll have a pro.
Who we got in September?
Tim O'Neill will come on.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
We have somebody from Olympia, Washington. Hey, going to be playing 2 days in July, 1st and 2nd. Interested, ? Would appreciate connecting and getting some advice on how best to plan it. Love the podcast. Then after it says, looking for maybe 4 or 3 caddies. Unfortunately, I only get the last 4 digits of your number.
Well, so I hope you had a good time.
I hope you had a good time out here without us. But next time, maybe email us podcast@glorifieddonkey.com. Next one from Beverly Hills, California.
Ooh, nice.
I have at least listened to 3 of the 133 episodes. My favorite being 133. Mike and Tony, best caddies ever. The Scottish guy is okay too. You know who that was? Yeah.
Who?
Hole in One boy.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
it
has to be.
There's a guy called Macon. He's not named Macon. He's from Macon in Georgia. You ever heard of that? Macon?
Macon?
Oh, Macon.
Is it M-A-C-O-N?
M-A-C-O-N.
Yeah, that's Macon.
Macon. Again, you know what? Yeah, if you put a B there, bacon. Yeah. Macon. Okay, so Macon, Georgia. Brilliant gents. Hope you don't get a ton of wiener pics.
Huh?
Keep up the great work. I don't think you can send a picture. Maybe you can.
Oh, gotcha.
Please don't try it. This is from Lakewood, California. Amanda Balionis is pregnant with Rory's kid.
That's all they put?
Then it says, this kid could be the dumbest person I have ever heard. Had to turn it off. So he was not a fan of Sean.
Oh, man. That's
Then we have somebody from Santa Ana in California. And it says, love the show. Long-time listener. Hi, you guys are the greatest. So there you go.
I like that. Keep sending those in, though. Those are fun. It was kind of sending some funny. It's a mean tweet, like the mean tweets you see on those. I love those. Yeah.
I don't mind getting abuse.
You know what I mean? I like it.
It's called banter. Now, Zabbo, did you listen to the last episode with the national putting tour?
I sure did. Not only did I listen, but I paid close attention because August 4th they're having the championship. Where are they having it?
Disneyland.
No. Popstroke in
Vegas.
Sarasota, Florida.
Okay.
Where did I move from?
Sarasota, Florida.
Bro, I think we should go. Let's go play in that. August 4th in Sarasota is not very cool.
Why don't you go? Facility. You go and you let me know how it is.
I'll bring like the portable and we can do a podcast from there.
I love the idea of going to one of these events. And obviously, I remember you had mentioned to Ziliovsky that you had the
elite short game. Yeah,
elite short game. Probably better
chipping. I don't know about putting.
Is it as good as any tour pro out there? You'd be pretty good at that.
Why do you got to bring up old things?
because you know me. I love it. We also Up Glove guy.
I did like that.
Sean from Up Glove.
Yeah, interesting product, and I vouch for the gloves. The gloves are amazing. I mean, you have a good point. Like they're almost too good. You're just not going to rip through gloves if you have them. So.
Yeah, I was asked, are the gloves that good?
They are that good.
Or are you just saying that?
No, they're not even a sponsor. They're that good.
I swear to God. People contact us wanting us to talk about products and stuff. People have sent me products and they're garbage. Yeah. And I just, I'm only going to talk about stuff that's quality.
Yeah. Agreed.
If you want Up Glove, go to their website, Glorified, and you get 20% off your first order. That will only last for about 3 weeks, so you probably only have about another week after this episode
and that's just for you guys. We're not getting a piece of that. That's just for you guys. They are not a sponsor of the podcast. We just like their product.
There's another couple of companies that I would like to do the similar type thing and just do a segment where we interview them. There's a really high quality cleaning brush.
Oh, Groove It, yeah.
Groove It brush.
Yeah, I love it. That is a good product. I lost mine.
I want to talk to those. You lost?
I did. Oh, yeah, I need another one.
You that Groove It? Zabbo needs another one.
Yes, I do.
So there you go, folks. There's several ways to get in contact on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Just look out for Glorified Donkey, and you can also email us podcast@glorifieddonkey.com or send us a text. So Zabbo, let's move on to some shoutouts.
Okay.
What you got?
Well, I got a shout out. Loop you gave me. I got a shout out Vladimir Victorio. You told me about this guy, and you're
Vladimir,
like,
not from Russia though.
It's funny you say that because he's like Colombian, and I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. But I was like, I thought you were sending me one of those funny names that we play around with, just because like you're giving me a weird loop. But they had a great time with them. That guy made more putts than I've ever seen in my life. It was insane. He was a decent player, but he made everything. The guy he was playing with, Brian, too, he was making a good number of putts. He hit probably the best shot I've ever seen on 17 at the big course that didn't go in. It 185 yards, hit the flag, one hopped, hit the flag, stopped on the lip. The fact that it didn't go in was shocking, but I got to shout out both those guys, Vladimir and Brian. So got to shout them out. Also got to shout out my new friends, Scott Shane and Cole Shane. This guy, father, son, they came out from Chicago. He owns a hot dog restaurant in Chicago, which is, nice. Hot dog's a staple. But he,
with condiments?
They have condiments, very good condiments. But he'd been saving up for a few years for this trip. Single dad, raised his 3 kids. Amazing kid. This kid, Cole, he was a specimen. He was 6'4", jacked. He's like, I want to play the blues. I'm like, we started off the week course. We played the golds, and I was like, all right, you should be playing the blues at all the other courses. Made an eagle both the first 2 days, and then he had the time of his life at the big course, shot 75, had 5 birdies. It was beautiful. It was awesome having them. They had the time of their life. Bucket list trip, as they said, never come back. After they finish, they're like, yeah, we'll see you in a few years. Of course they're coming back. Of course.
Did you mention what the name of the hot dog place is?
No, I did not. It's Herm's Palace. So that was his grandfather bought it from the guy who started. This guy named Herm. It's called Herm's Palace in Chicago, Illinois. Look it up. It's a good spot.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Before I do my shout-outs, you can actually support us. If you go to glorifieddonkey.com, you can click on the link or go to the Twitter page, buy us a beer.
Mm-hmm. We got to shout out Gio, who bought us some beers. We appreciate that. And also
he bought some beers, but the problem with that was today he was undermining the caddies about calling us soft for complaining about the weight of the bags.
Oh, was he? Well, yeah. Dude, his bag was ridiculous. Yeah. Get out of here, Gio.
Yeah, you owe us more beers, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Get back on there.
Sam from EDH. Thank you. He says, thanks for all you guys do. So, thank you. I'd like to say a shout out to Heather Shapples. And Heather is the superintendent at Seascape, just up the road.
Yeah, she's won a few awards for how good she's taking care of those greens in amazing condition.
Well, I guess when we'd played there in January, I'd mentioned how the greens were great, even under those monsoon conditions, and she was catching up with episodes and had sent me a message on Twitter saying thank you for the shout out. It was very kind. It's a thankless job, let's be honest.
Oh, for sure,
because people never really compliment good greens.
Not when it's good. Exactly, that's a good point.
I said, Heather, let's have you on at some point because we've only ever had one lady on.
Yeah,
so let's double those numbers.
Absolutely, and only one other superintendent, I think, so that'll be number 2.
I have plenty of other shout outs, of course. I will leave them for a future episode. But one guy I wanted to mention was Daniel McCutcheon. He used to play, he was a pitcher in Major League Baseball.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's originally from Oklahoma, I believe, but now he lives in New Boundlands.
You need me to read it so I can tell you how it's pronounced.
New Braunfels. That's in Texas.
I don't know.
Right. But he's got a thing called, I'll tell you what, right, there's a crow in the cart about to try and eat food 60 yards away. We're on the 10th green.
Oh, yeah, and this guy's got a missile for an arm.
And I says, here, I'll tell you what.
Aim.
Accuracy.
Yeah.
Nearly took the beak off of it. Unbelievable.
Major league pitchers, man.
You know, it's like one of those things you think you can throw and you're a decent thrower.
Oh, those major league pitchers, they have arms like on no other. Yeah,
dude,
it's crazy.
I was like, wow. I wanted more birds to come out so we could
test his arms more.
Just cull.
Yeah.
But he now owns a business out there. This is fascinating. It's called Big League Car Wash. So if you're out in that area,
nice.
It's between San Antonio and Austin, Texas.
Is it by that woman's diner?
That's classic. But yeah, he was a good lad. Good stories. Nice. Absolutely loved the game. You know what I mean? Just great attitude towards playing really poor golf, but improving. Nice. And yeah, Big League Car Wash. Fantastic. Excellent. Right, Zabbo. We're back in 2 weeks' time with another one.
Yep, and if you're out there playing golf, download the Big Game Golf app.
Absolutely.
Get out there.
They're getting closer and closer to getting the most up-to-date.
It's going to be good when it's finally released.
It's taken more time. I've been there before myself. You always think something's going to be ready in March, and it doesn't happen until the following year. But check that out, nationalputtingtour.com. Yes. If you need some new gloves, check out UpGlove, even if you just buy one to try them out. Zabbo, thanks for your time.
Thank you. Good to be back.
It was good working with you today.
You as well. That was fun.
Showing you the ropes.
Yeah, I was learning what not to do and some new things.
Well, we never talked about how we played all the par threes.
We did. Actually, the players, I think we tallied it up. I think they were, they have 16 chances, 4 par threes. I think they were 3 for 16, and we were, we had
7 for 8. We'll say 7 for 8.
Yeah, it was. We had 8 chances, and I think we were 7 for 8.
Sometimes the worst thing you can do is start hitting balls in front of your players because then they feel even worse about their game.
Yeah, it's true.
But anyway, to the listeners, many thanks for listening. If you're new to the podcast, go back, listen to the 135 episodes in the catalogue. Feel free to get in contact. But until the next time, enjoy your golf. But more importantly,
keep it humble.